I want to talk a little bit more about something that deeply influences your manifestations. So, we're talking about money manifestation in this particular instance, and money is an energy. We look at money as, this massive thing that we need to obtain to survive, and it is. But it's also an energy. It's also something that we can align with to attract more. And what we want to do is we want to create a beautiful alignment with the frequency of money, of abundance, of wealth, of richness, luxury, whatever really floats through your head when you're thinking about money. And exactly that is where we need to stand still and take a very deep look into your subconscious, because a lot of people think that our conscious is what we attract. So if we constantly do or think something, then that's where we're gonna go. And I'm not saying that there's no truth in that, but the bigger magnet is our subconscious. It's kind of the inherent beliefs, the inherent underlying thoughts that we have about something that will have an impact on what we end up manifesting and what we will end up becoming a vibrational match with, to vibrate at the frequency that you desire. And I assume that the frequency that you desire is one of wealth and money and abundance, and that's a high frequency thing, right? Like, we want it to be something that makes us feel happy and secure. We have to become aware of what our beliefs around money, around wealth, around success really are. We need to become aware of that. And how do we become aware of it? Well, that is something maybe you've heard in like therapy, psychology. We need to go back to our childhood. We need to find out what are the beliefs that are still sitting in my subconscious that influence the way that I become a vibrational match to things or no match to things. So if we want money, but we're actually afraid of money, afraid of keeping money, we're afraid of losing money, we're constantly in fear of money, then subconsciously our vibration is fear. And just like anything else in the world, money as an energy wants to be loved. If you think about manifesting a partner, would you want that person that's like, I'm so afraid of you. I don't know. Are you going to leave me? Are you going to go? Are you going to stay? Or do you want that person that's like, I love you no matter what. I trust you as you are. Money, in a way, works similarly. To become a vibrational match to money, we need to learn to trust money, to love money, and to see money as something that we don't have to be afraid of. And that takes a lot of inner work, because there are so many things, right? How we grow up. How did your parents talk to you about money and about security? Your generational trauma, like generational or cultural, what is money and the role of security and survival tied to money in your hometown, in your city, in your country? We take on a lot of those things. What is the media, constantly telling you about money? Because these are things that are deeply going to be rooted in our subconscious, because we're constantly, from a very young age, we're exposed to those things. And if we want to become a conduct for that abundance from an alignment. So of course there are people that attract a lot of money and they're not in alignment with, so to say, their highest form of abundance. They could still make a lot of money, but maybe they are not emotionally aligned with it. Maybe their feminine energy is not aligned with it at all. It's just their masculine that was smart and quick enough to know how to get something. So now that we know that we need a lot of money and we need to feel safe around money, we need to feel safe in our subconscious with money, and we need to not fear it. How are we gonna go about that? How are we gonna start? Well, honestly, as messed up as it kind of sounds, the way that your parents viewed and acted about money is going to kind of influence how you're going to be with money, at least before you've done your shedding of any old paradigms, old beliefs. We take on the beliefs of our parents and of our environments unless we decide that we're going to break the cycle and we're going to feed ourselves different thoughts. So that's something you need to become very aware of. What are beliefs that were passed on from childhood, from my parents, from my caretakers, from my country? Let's take it a little bit further, that have influenced the way that I now perceive money. I now perceive wealth. So to tell you a little bit about me is I come from wealth. I came from a family and a country that's one of the wealthier countries in the world. I come from a family where money was not an issue, but the mindset about it was not one of abundance. So even though I've seen a lot of money in my life, I've had parties as a 10 or 11-year-old where I saw girls my age say, like, do you want to see my dad's Maserati? I've been to a party where there was a private plane. I don't know why. I guess where I live, it's a bubble. People are wealthy. But the thing is, as much as I've seen that growing up, right? Like, I didn't have to go through the struggle of I was not able to get what I wanted materially. I didn't have to go through that struggle. Yet, when I started to go through my own spiritual awakening, I noticed that I had a lot of lack mindset. I was afraid of money. So having money is not the equivalent of being abundant. Having money is not the equivalent of being wealthy and attracting more of it necessarily. What it taught me personally was that I had come from a family of money that had a lack mindset. So even though, yes, I grew up in a home when I had my own floor for myself growing up, I was around people that were afraid of it because they had it, but they were constantly afraid of losing it. The way they spoke about money was like, even though there was money that a lot of people wouldn't have on their bank accounts, their energy behind the money was like, this is way too expensive. Talking about it in a way that they didn't love money. They didn't appreciate the money. Because I've seen things, around me where there was a lot of money, but constantly talking about it as like, things are too expensive. I want to have more. I need to have more of it. Another person is always wealthier than me. Something along those lines. There was not this love for money. And at the same time, there was a lot of ego around the money that was in my family. So yes, I saw a lot of money, but I also saw the behaviors about it. So I saw people flash their money to get what they wanted from another person. I saw the abuse of power of money closely in my own experiences as well. And that left me, even though I didn't grow up poorly, as I spiritually awakened, I had a lot of a lack mindset. I realized like, oh, there are certain thoughts and beliefs around money that I have that are not a vibrational match to the money and the abundance that I really want to attract. And the funny thing is, money karma has been a very big thing in my family. My Saturn as well is in Taurus in the 8th house. So I grew up with it, but I've also seen people lose it all. I've seen what it does when you overly attach your ego to money, thinking, oh, I have the money, I am the man, I am the bitch, I am, I can get anyone I want, I can get whatever I want because I got it. And I've seen in my own life that it can be taken away in a heartbeat. So it's not about the money that you have in your bank. It's not. It's about the thoughts and the energy that you assign to it, the influence and the power that you allow it to have over you. So I've seen people with money, again, but I've also seen the minute that they lost it, their whole self-confidence, their whole identity turned to shreds. Because now, what's left of me if I don't got the dollar bills to show what's left of me? So when we're talking about creating abundance, there's so much more than what spirit is going to show you. Is not going to be like, here, you want to manifest some money? Here's 10,000 in your bank account. Love you. No. They're going to show you money as an energy. They're going to challenge you. What are your beliefs and attachments around money? Okay. So starting off, there's this element of, okay, what did you grow up with? And be honest, what if what you grew up with is still present in how you perceive money? Are you afraid of money? Are you afraid of losing it? Or do you understand that money, just like everything in life, fluctuates? People always feel like you need to keep everything. But the reality is money can come and go, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be a thing to fear. But that's really hard because we've seen it as a collective be something to fear. And I know there's a bunch of people out there who've for sure seen much worse than I have. So I'm not trying to tell you what you can and cannot feel, but when we're just talking about the energy, we want to work on not fearing money, not fearing anything in life that could potentially come and go. Because money is one of those things, just as much as a relationship. Now you can start to identify, am I in a lack mindset? Do I always feel like everything is too expensive? I don't have enough of it. I cannot keep it. Or am I in an abundant mindset that even if whatever's in my bank account, do I feel like I am blessed? Do I feel like I have enough? And that comes with being really present. That comes with another exercise that I'm going to give to you guys as well. It comes with gratitude, like being present with what you have. Even if you have made no sales this month or any month, like I have now recently rebranded my channel, right? And I went from having at least 20,000 views on a video to a couple hundred, and from having a lot more money from that to starting over again. And it was really easy for my ego to be like, you know what? Your poor little unsuccessful failure of a, failure of a woman. It's easy because the ego, the thought, would associate that with a setback. But my soul is like, you know, you're doing more of what you love. You're aligning with a higher frequency of abundance because now you're being more of who you are. And it's only a matter of time that that frequency of you doing something, regardless of what instant gratification you may have to kind of put to the side right now, you're doing something that you love, you're doing something that you care about, and in a matter of time, that's just going to make you more of a conduit for more money. So not to make it about me, but to share that story in a way of knowing that if you're looking at money manifestation solely as what you're going to manifest in your bank account, don't watch this. Don't work with me, because that's not what it is about. That's going to be the long-term effect. You're going to attract a lot more money. But what we're working on is aligning you with abundance, aligning you with an abundant mindset, aligning you with what true abundance really is about. And that's gonna take some time to materialize. That's the honest reality. You hear a lot of people say, all these gurus, like, you can manifest anything instantly. I'm not saying that you can't, but sometimes that's not what it's about. We're changing you and your frequency on a much deeper level than that. We're allowing you to not become too attached with the numbers and trust your frequency and what that will wind up attracting. At least that's my goal of creating more of for you. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you feel like booking with me one-on-one to kind of access even more of your most abundant timeline, keep in touch. I'll see you next week with a new video, and I love you guys.